Then there's a third way that people often conceptualize multiple regression, and that's with Venn diagrams. And a Venn diagram is, the idea with a Venn diagram is what we're plotting is the variance of the variable. How much variability there is in these circles. So a circle represents all of 100% of the variance of that variable. And in this case, so like this circle here that's colored is grades. And again, all of that circle, again, just represents all of the variability, all of the variance. And then with the Venn diagram, we then start to add other variables. And what we do is they overlap to the degree to which they share variance, to the degree to which they have an R squared. Remember, R squared is how much variance in one is related to the other. So in this case, here's all the variability in grades. Then we have this other variable out here. It's another circle, x1, school quality. And we're looking, okay, how much variability in grades is related to school quality? Now that's the R squared. If we correlated grades and school quality, you get the correlation, you square them, and right, that's the proportion of the variance in grades that's related to school quality. The Venn diagram just does that visually. And this overlapping area, highlighted here green with the letter A in it, is equal to the size of that is equal to the R squared. It's equal to the proportion, and you can think about, here's all the variability. This is the proportion that's related to school quality. Again, the R squared. So whatever, if your R squared, this looks like it's probably an R squared of about 0.2, maybe that's 20% of the total variance. The more they overlap, the bigger the R squared, the more variance they share. And then, so A is the variance in grades that's related to school quality. And E, this yellow part, is all that remaining unknown variance. The variability that's in grades that's not related to school quality. You know, some kids go to really terrible schools and still do very well. And some kids go to great schools and do very poorly. Things that's not related to school quality, that we don't understand, that's all that variability is in the yellow E. Then with the Venn diagrams, you can add another variable. So what we've done here, we've added study hours. So we've got another variable, it's another circle for 100%, you know, all of its variability. And just like with school quality, the degree to which they overlap is related to their variance that they share. Now notice now what happens, study hours overlaps with both school quality and grades to some degree. So it shares it explains some of the variability, or it's related to some of the variability in grades all on its own. It's related to some of the variability in grades. The variability, let me take a step back. That variability, that overlapping variance, that R squared, part of it, notice, also overlaps school quality. That's in this C section. This little light blue C. Notice its variance, its variability, its variance in study hours, but it's also in school quality. So it's shared by both of those. And it's also in grades. So this C that's that variability in grades that's due to both studying and school quality. So that might be kind of, you can think of it, this might be related to the fact, you know, higher quality schools maybe motivate kids to study more. You go to a really terrible school, kids probably study less. So they're kind of overlapping. It's kind of the same thing. That's what this C is. Then there's part of the effect of study hours is completely unrelated to school quality. Yeah, maybe this is, just some kids study more, even in good schools. Some kids study more, even in bad schools. And part of that is related to grades. So kind of looking at this, you can start to see how, of all the variability in grades, we're trying to understand why some kids have high grades, some kids struggle. Part of it is related to school quality and only school quality. We'll talk about that as being uniquely related to school quality. This A, notice it's not overlapping study hours at all. It's that variability in grades that's only due to school quality, not due to studying. And part of it is study hours is unrelated to school quality. That's this B. That's the relation. That's that part of grades, that variability, that effect that's only due to studying, not due at all to school quality. So even bad schools that get kids motivated in studying, here's their effect, kind of. And then part of it, the C, is related to the two of them together. The fact that sometimes things, they're just overlapping. They're intertwined. And so the unique effect of school quality is A, the unique effect of study hours is B, and this kind of shared overlapping effect of the two of them is C.
Does the Venn diagram have to be in circles? You can have them in different diagrams in case you have multiple variables that don't fit in the
Venn diagram. So the question was, do Venn diagrams always done with circles? They're always done with circles. But you're touching on the issue is what if you have other variables?
Right.
And that's a problem. That's a limitation with Venn diagrams. It's pretty clean as long as you've got two variables. But when you start to have 3 or 4 variables, you can't really. What you really need is you need to go from circles to spheres to hyperspheres so it's limited trying to visualize more complex models where you've got more and more variables that just you can't make them overlap just the right ways. So, but Venn diagrams can be very useful, again, to kind of start to conceptualize, particularly thinking in terms of variance. How much variance? So here you see these 3 variables are related to a fairly large, these 2 variables, I should say, are related to a fairly large portion of the variance in grades. And we can see how much is school quality, A plus C, how much is study hours, B plus C, how much is uniquely school quality, A, uniquely school study hours, B, in that shared part C. And kind of what's the R squared? I think there's like some homework, something somewhere. What's that R squared? It's going to be between the variance, the R squared between school quality and grades is A and C. So it's a way of starting to see variance.